to Steele My Story, the show where we invite a guest on to tell one true story and one stolen story. And it's Steele My Story because that's my name. Get it? And our lovely guest today, Keanu Uchida, who is a dancer in Toronto. He was the star dancer in Dancer the Musical and was recently in Trap, the new M. Night Shyamalan thriller about a father and daughter who are trapped in a sinister event during a concert. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
So excited to be here.
Yeah. Yes. So, we met through, I saw your musical. And then we also went to Korean barbecue, possibly right after the show. I can't remember, but
awesome.
But that was my first time at that Korean barbecue place too. It's amazing. So
It's always a good thing.
It's always a good thing. You can't not love Korean barbecue.
And you go out for Korean barbecue with everyone who comes and sees your show, right?
Yeah,
every single person in the audience.
You have
to. There's a wait list in a form.
It's a 9-hour meal for you.
Yeah. So how long have you been dancing? Actually,
I've been dancing since I'm 4. Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
4 since you could walk. They were just like, dance.
Yeah.
Now dance.
The reason why I started is because my parents wanted us to do hockey.
Right.
Oh, amazing.
And they put it. My brother's 3 years older. They put him in dance, just gain.
Oh, they were trying to make you professionals, get you balanced.
I would have been a really, because you see athletes that do ballet, right, to get fit and stuff. But so I think they had the right idea, but we just loved it so much. Aww. And I mean, he loved it, and then they put me in, and then we just fully did competitive dance our whole childhood. They were so supportive of the dance. They always loved it.
Oh, that's cool. So they weren't
great.
some kind of
no
hockey dad being this ruined my dream.
Yeah. He's the path was wrong. No. They were always so amazing and supportive, and even people are always so shocked in the dance world, because me and my brother went to different dance studios at one point when we were teenagers, because he just fit in at one spot more and I did at the other, but they would drive us to opposite side. I'm from Ottawa, opposite sides of town. My mom would drive Akira, or dad would drive me, and vice versa, every day, just because they knew that was best for us, which was so huge of them to do.
Oh, that's
people are always why did you guys do that? And I was
well, I just oh, that's so sweet. Because it would for sure be easier for them to just drive you to one spot.
Of course.
And was it was it the dance style at the studios, or was
it was sort of that. I think there's one the studio my brother went to was a little more I think you could say it was more hip hop, jazz commercial style, and mine was a bit more contemporary, I guess. And I think I was just drawn to one style more, and he was the other. And it also was just the people his age he fit in really well with. There were a few factors, but most parents would be no, you're gonna figure it out.
And you're taking the bus.
Literally,
Were you too competitive against each other? Being
in terms of just generally
wanting to, I guess because it's a different style, but I know we each have one sibling. I don't know if you have multiple siblings, but I know me and my brother would get very competitive. We went to different schools as well, but we definitely would be a little bit more, so were either of you this is the right school, or this is the type of dance we should be doing?
I mean, especially when you have a sibling that's in your industry, yes, it's always, and we've had a lot of conversations about it too, but it's for sure the comparison's always going to be a thing, and sometimes it's it's also just you're in an industry where people compare each other, and so that happens inevitably. But I think what's been nice is we're at an age now. I actually was in New York last month and did a project with him, and because he choreographs now.
Oh, wow, cool. No.
He fully choreographs now and lives in Brooklyn and is doing so much good stuff. And I did a piece with him for this festival, but I dance for him sometimes, and it's very I think we're just at a point in our careers where there's just we're allies.
It's support.
It's super mutually supportive. And it's just cool to have gotten there, kind of,
How many years apart? Oh, 3, you said.
Wow. Yeah, he's 3 years older, so big brother. He's for sure. I'm for sure a little brother.
Oh yeah, I'm the younger sibling too.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. I'm for sure.
Yeah. Are you the?
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep you two in line. You know?
Yeah. Okay. I love that.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's get into these stories. I'm excited. I'm excited. So Keanu's actually, I guess, unless we caught it on camera, is the first guest to come on after our show is aired. So he actually got to watch some other examples. So very excited.
So we think he may be able to stump us. Yeah, high pressure.
That's just scary. Yeah.
No, honestly, I think you're a great liar.
Yeah, we only have psychopaths on this show. It's by design.
Exactly.
Absolute nutters.
Okay, well, we'll see. But the first story is it's related to a vacation. Sort of a vacation, a trip I took like before the pandemic. It was in 2019. I had like. I know, yeah.
Oh my gosh, is that when the pandemic was?
Yeah. I was touring with a band actually that year, dancing, and we ended in Peru, and like everyone on our like crew, well, I was like, everyone went home like after, and I was like, guys, why like we got all the way down here, like why would you leave?
Like as soon as it was over, they got on the flight.
Literally the next day.
And you were like, no, I'm seeing Machu Picchu.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I did do that. Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Exactly. That's my thing. It's like the biggest cost is the flight. So why wouldn't you just...
Yeah, and it's a long way down to get there.
Exactly. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, you had the right idea.
Yeah.
Unless he's lying and this is all bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, I stayed. I decided to stay for 2 months, and I went through Peru and then Chile after that.
Cool.
And I mean, I loved like both so much, like so exciting to travel, and it was solo traveling, and I don't know if you've ever solo traveled.
I haven't. Well, unless you count me solo traveling with Ian as the helm.
Right.
Me booking everything.
Yeah, Ian booking everything.
You solo by just not talking to me on the flight for a little bit.
Oh, right.
While she's reading.
Isolation.
Yeah, exactly. That's neat. Right. No, I haven't either.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, I mean, I really like traveling alone. Like I don't know. I like spending time alone. I'm a very, very social person, but I also am totally fine or like can deal with being alone, and like there's some cities that I went to, like I moved around a bit. There's some where I like met people and it was really nice. Like I made some friends. So, and then other places where like I didn't really know anyone. And I was in a city in the north Peru. It's like a surfing town called Huanchaco, and yeah, it's like they consider themselves to be like the place where surfing like originated, but it's actually like it's a Polynesian thing. I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say yeah,
but like I think they like
claimed they were doing it as well.
Yeah, like
okay.
I mean, I guess
we weren't there. How do we know, right?
Yeah,
it could have been mutually discovered,
right?
Yeah. Anyway,
I thought I invented the mushroom cut as a kid, so who's to say? Yeah,
yeah, totally that kind of thing. But yeah, it was like a huge. That was like a huge tourist destination. Like a lot of people go there specifically just for the surfing. And I mean, yeah, I was just there. Like I didn't like know very many people, so obviously was just like open to meeting, open to meeting people. And I forget exactly what it was. I think I like needed, maybe it was like allergy like medication or something dorky, or like I don't know. Like
I need that too.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, of course that happens, but. This like man helped me, and I was like, oh, like I just have to preface this like this. It's a bit of an embarrassing story, so there's details that I've like
you're like hiding. It's like a document. Some things are like blacked out.
Oh yeah. There's things
redact.
Yeah. So I had to really fish for this, but he helped me in some way. We like started talking, and then I found out he was like the owner of one of the surfing schools, I guess, because there were I would walk along the boardwalk, and there were like a bunch of different surfing schools that seemed cool. But like I was like I'd never surfed, but I was interested, but I just like I don't know, it's like it's new, like you don't.
Yeah, maybe like it's also one of those sports that like it's not super, like, if you eat shit, you're definitely gonna hit the water and, like, not be able to breathe. That's always been my fear.
Yeah, like... and I'm also, like, I'm a dancer, so people don't expect this, but I'm a bad swimmer. Like,
interesting.
But they think you'd probably be pretty good at balance, right? Like,
I guess so. But I don't. I guess just swimming, I feel like it's still part of it.
Right. Then your coordination goes out the window.
It's never been my. Okay. Yeah. I actually failed my grade 3 swimming.
No.
Like, I couldn't do the front crawl.
Oh, no. Yeah, really? The front, like the doggy paddle.
Yeah. Well, like.
You know what? They didn't put on any music. They put on some music. 5, 6, 7, 8. You would have been swimming so good.
Yeah, I was. The teacher was not good. Okay, like that's my excuse usually. Yeah, and still not good, but it's okay. But yeah, I just hadn't like tried it, but I think I spoke to him a few times. Maybe I like went to his thing, and he's like, oh yeah, like come, like I'll do a lesson for you and like one other person who signed up, like. For like cheap or something, and I mean obviously it's just a lot cheaper in Peru, so it was like reasonable prices. So yeah, like I signed up. I like went in like I guess the waves were like best in the morning, so I like went. I put on the whole like suit. We like went out,
nice.
And then we tried it, and like I honestly was great. Like I loved it. I actually got up. I got up like twice, and like for like a few seconds, he was like, oh, that's really good. Like I was like, I felt so like accomplished, I think. And then like it was just it was like bonding vibes almost with him. Like I was just like, how cool that like I had a teacher that like. Yeah, I don't know. That I'm giving you the
yes.
The PG version?
No. I'm giving you the emotional context to like some poor decisions that are incoming.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay.
So then like after we like went for dinner, we like actually became really good friends. He like told me about his family, whatever. Like we just he was like the person I would like meet up with then. And then he like told me about this like this like Inca, because like the Incas are like where are based in Peru, and with like some collar that was like from an Incan like it was like a Incan relic, and like he had access to these like these like special like necklaces type thing that his friend made for like a really good deal. And he was like, oh, like it's okay. I sound so dumb. Like I'm gonna sound so dumb, but like he's like, my cousin actually is in Toronto in Canada, and we could make a deal where like if you buy the necklaces here for cheap. It was so confusing. This was also
Is this how you become? Actually, no. You continue. You continue.
He was like, you could buy the necklaces off me, and then I'm going to when you get to Canada, you can give it to my cousin, and he will give you. He'll give you like $500 because you brought it to Canada.
Oh no!
And it was like, I mean,
you're like, I'm gonna make money on this.
That's okay. Like, story about how you become a drug mule. Oh my god! But not a drug mule. You're a necklace or a jewelry mule.
I think I know where it's going, but I'm scared to see what happens.
Yeah, like, yeah, I I said yes.
Imagine you're like, no, I said no, and I went home, and that's the end of the story.
Well, and it was like the actual necklace itself was really cheap. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, like, why not? Like,
it's just a necklace,
right? Even if it's a scam, it's not like it's $1,000 or something like.
Exactly. Yeah, like I was like, what is there to lose? And this is my friend. Like,
we bonded in the salt water.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like that exchange happened, and then I went on with my trip, and we were still talking about stuff. We were still in contact or whatever. But I like left, and he about a week after I left, and it was like he'd like driven me to the airport vibes. Like that's how which was like, oh, how nice of you. Like, and then like a week passed, and then he was like, oh, also what complicated all this is he like I was just started learning Spanish when I was there.
Okay.
And he barely spoke English, so like our exchanges were something like he would try to speak English. I would be like, just say it in Spanish, and then he would say it in Spanish, and I would like catch on to like 2 or 3 words, and then I'd be like, I think this is what you mean, and then like try and say something. Like it was so broken the way we were communicating, so we had to try 3 times for every idea almost. But so that just added to all the like uncertainty and confusion with these things. But about a week after, he messaged me like, you're gonna think I'm so dumb. But he messaged me saying, like, my brother, like, mi hermano, like, he got hurt in Lima, like, he's in the hospital. And he sent me like a picture of like someone.
This is when you're back in Canada?
This is when I'm still in Peru. But I left by then.
Right.
Yeah, and he's like, obviously I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, yada yada, and he was like, oh, like, yeah, like it's not good, it's like it's really hard, like I think we like called once or twice, and like we tried to exchange stuff, like obviously, like, and then I think what was also supposed to happen, it was all a blur, but there was at some point his cousin was supposed to send me money ahead of time to like confirm this thing, something like that. So I think like I was balancing like being like, I'm so sorry about this event, and also like, okay,
we're still waiting on an e-transfer.
Yeah.
Where's my Venmo?
Yeah, that would literally be the message, like, I'm so sorry, but also like, can you please send the money? Like,
what was in the photograph of the cousin or the brother?
Literally a guy like this, like in not like that. Sorry.
in a coffin. It's a picture of Dracula.
He was like in a coma, basically. Like he was like like the thing in his
tube.
Nose. Yeah, sorry, the tube in his nose. Like there's blood. Like it was a graphic hospital picture. Like, and he was like, this is horrible at the Lima. So like I was like, geez, that sucks. Obviously, you know.
And also, where's my money?
yeah, exactly. And basically, like, I mean, by now this is a scam. You've realized, like,
yes.
You've caught on at this point that this might be a scam?
It was a gradual progression of like acceptance. Like,
but did he ask for more money for his cousin? Was he like...
Yes, he did.
Right.
And I sent him more money.
Oh! No!
How much?
No! Tell us how much.
$750 US.
US dollars! Oh my god, $750 US.
It's so like I think back, I'm like, what?
And did you like Google search man in hospital, and then the first one right.
But you were still in Peru, so you had hope that when you get to Canada, you'd make the necklace money to counter the money you sent.
Exactly. That was the first reason why it still just felt like it was. I don't know. It was. There were factors that made me think it was a real person, and another one was also just that I knew where his physical he was the owner of that physical business, right? Mm-hmm. So like, I mean, at least in Canada, it's like if you know where someone's business is, like you're gonna report them and that's it. But that's also not how Peru is usually. From what I understand, is like the authorities don't intervene in that. Also, not for that kind of level.
Yeah, and it's also when you're not like a citizen in that country, they're probably not going to treat you, or they're not going to do as much.
It's like you're a tourist. It's like
they're kind of. Like,
but also, they may be really mad, right? Because they're like, if someone's hurting, like robbing tourists, it's going to hurt tourism as a whole.
That's true. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. But I was too devastated to think about it.
When did you find out it was a scam? When did you realize? So you're in Peru still.
You sent
the money.
I mean, it was just
Did he just keep asking for more money?
No, he didn't. Like, well, I don't think so. I think it was just like we kept talking here and there, and I kept asking him when he's sending the money, and then he just said soon, tomorrow, or like, like I've work today, like I'll send it the next day, and he was like that, and then I was just like,
it's weird, he was still answering.
That's my thing too, and I was like, well, what at this point? It's like, what am I gonna do? Okay, I know you're a scammer, like.
This cousin's not gonna be.
At this point, I just had to take the L, and I'm like, okay, like you're just like
there's no cousin in Toronto.
You suck. Like
you suck. I'm never recommending your circle. I'm giving you a 1 star.
Yeah, I was like,
1 star Yelp review.
That was almost what it came to. I'm like, do I just leave him a bad Google review and call it like
great surfing? I learned to get up. Got up twice. He stole $750 from me.
And gave me a
gained my
necklace.
trust. And like, Anyway, so that's the first story.
Amazing. Wow. Oh my gosh. I love. Oh, I'm so glad. Like, this is I'm me tooting my own horn. So glad I came up with my own premise. But I am, because I feel like people do tell. Like, how would I have ever known this story from you? I feel like I hear so many, like, great stories from people now.
And we learned that everyone's good at lying, because I can't tell if this is a lie. Like, right now, I'm 100% believing this.
I know,
so,
like, I 100% believe this.
But we don't know yet.
And then we'll hear the next story, and we're like, well, that one's 100% true, too.
I've definitely had friends, like, I had a friend who, like, left her boyfriend for a surf instructor. And then, like, flew back to Costa Rica. She, like, went on a family trip to Costa Rica, took surf lessons, flew back home, broke up with her boyfriend, flew back down to Costa Rica to like be with the surf instructor. And I thought it was going that way. And I'm like, these surf instructors are just like running a racket of
just
I
was setting up like a love story.
And then
I was writing it was kind of for a love story. I was like, wow, oh my god, you fell in love with
in Peru, like so romantic.
But even better, a scam, because who doesn't love a scam story?
Exactly. So just
a heist.
Not very demure of him.
No.
Maybe if the cousin's listening,
messaging him again.
Is the money coming?
How are you? Like,
well, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe the cousin's watching the YouTube show right now, and he's like, "Oh, I owe money for that. That was totally not a scam."
Yeah,
the
what
brother.
if he did send you that money after all this time?
Yeah, imagine. No.
Yeah.
No.
We can all hope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we've all been
made decisions.
We've all been scammed in Peru.
I was like,
That was my scamming, and then another one I had.
You had another scam?
Have you heard of the taxi scams in Toronto?
Ooh, at the airport where they drive you home? It's not where they like.
What's
no,
that?
Maybe you tell me this one.
Yeah, you tell me.
Well, it was actually when I was doing that show, the dancer show.
Oh, okay.
And I was walking home, and there's like two guys who were just like on the side of the road, like with next to a taxi, and they were like, "Hey man, like we don't know like where we're going, like we're all the way from Scarborough, like would you be he's not accepting our cash, like could you take this like cash, this $10 bill, and just pay with card for your
Yes, I have heard of this.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, okay, like I mean it's pretty
it seems simple. You're doing a nice thing.
Yeah. So I take the cash, and then they're like talking to me while I like give the card to the taxi driver and like put my pin in. Well, they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I like flowers. Like, "What do you have flowers?" Like I totally was distracted. Like it worked, and then I got the card back, and then they're just like, "Oh, thanks, man." They get back into the car, and then the car leaves, and then I'm like, "Wait, why did they get back in the?"
Right, you're like, "Yeah, aren't you at your destination?"
And then I look at my card, and it wasn't my debit. It wasn't my card. It was someone else. They switched. They had like the right like RBC like type of card, so it looked like mine. Mm-hmm. And I looked into some random person's, and then I looked like 5, or I think I noticed it like 10 minutes later. I look at my phone, and so they had like taken out like $700. They had gone in ATM, and they knew my PIN.
So really, the PIN is just like records it,
I guess.
And then wow, I didn't know they did the switch. I wasn't sure how it worked. I knew
really smart.
Really smart.
And they just
they raced to an ATM probably, and
before you could like call your bank.
Did you get the money back?
Well, my bank they did
reimburse
me.
Oh, that's good.
Wow. Yeah. Well, jokes on them. So I have like nothing in my bank account.
Yeah, that's the they tried to get a larger amount, and they were
declined.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Declined immediately.
They're
true. Like $20 declined.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh! Wow, honestly that I
smart.
Think work
honestly,
on
I'm like, smart.
Yeah,
like,
smart.
They just buy the taxi sign from Amazon and put it on the top of the car.
Any orange or they.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what that actual taxi.
Well, and it's like, would you really be looking at like the taxi like license plate number? Or
not if you're
like
just paying for it. You're doing a nice thing. Like,
and
it's so
like,
mean about it.
Yeah, it takes advantage of just like human decency.
Yeah.
Sad.
It's okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, that's. I'm glad your bank reimbursed you. That sucks. Yeah. I feel like I had something similar happen to me where I was actually with Lyle and Olivia, and we were trying to park the car, and this guy came up and he's like, "Oh, sorry, do you guys have any cash? I'm just trying to pay for parking." And we were like, I don't know if it was me who gave cash or if it was Lyle, but I remember we gave $20 and he was like, "Oh, thanks." And we thought he was going to give us change, but he just like took the $20 and walked off. And we're like, did we get scammed?
For $20.
I know, but we were like young kids trying to be like, but I don't know, it was fine. No, it was just $20, but we were like, I think this guy scammed us.
I don't think he's coming back with quarters.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be coming back with any change.
So lame.
All right, story number 2.
Story number 2! Yay!
Okay.
Okay.
So actually, one thing I did like, sorry.
It's okay.
As a dancer, like when I in my first like few years, so like earlier when I was a bit younger, like my first few years, I actually lived in LA for 1 year as a dancer.
Oh, nice.
And I like it just happened, like I got a job that led to me getting a visa for like just 1 year, and then I ended up staying there for the whole year. Mm-hmm. And it was like, it was a hard year, but it was also really like, it was good for me to like just be kind of like throw myself out there and just like learn what it is to be like an actual adult type thing, and like figure out also LA surprised me. I'm like, it can like, there were a lot of like, there's the parts of LA that people don't like that are, I understand why people don't like them, and then there's like also other stuff.
There's some great, like, everyone's an artist, like everyone's moving there with a dream really cool from all over the world, and
100%. That so many people come and like, because they have like, yes, they all are in the arts or they want to create.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I think like I personally am drawn to the laid back energy compared to New York. Like sometimes New York is a bit too much for me. Like, I don't know. I think maybe it's just the pace. Like I do still, I'm okay with fast pace, but sometimes there's something about like the style of LA of like people being relaxed but still
perfect weather every day helps for all you.
Right? 100% the nice
and there's
weather.
Surfing. Get back on the board.
Get back on the board.
No, also the water's, isn't it? Yeah.
Dirty.
Water's cold, right?
A little bit, not as cold as this Canada.
My
surfing,
idea of cold is like so hot.
Like, you're like, is it Hawaii? It's cold.
Yeah. I'm like, lukewarm is freezing, but but one thing that was like cool that I got to do that year is I danced in the Oscars of that year.
Whoa, cool! Yeah. Wow,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, it was for sure exciting. I did like, you know, Moana the movie.
Yeah.
So it was like the performance for Moana. They did like.
Wow.
That's one of my karaoke songs.
Oh yeah.
Maybe my only one.
Oh.
And he's actually very good at that.
Right now, Brock. I need a few more tequilas.
That's a really eclectic choice.
Yeah, it's surprising that it's on there, to be honest with you. But I can rap like The Rock.
I love that. Yeah. Great. It was great. I cried watching that movie. Actually, it was such a cute movie. It's really good.
There's some great, like, even like gym songs that are like motivating about like, Not that I'd listen. I mean, I listen to cool rap in the gym. Not Moana. That'd be weird.
I love that. Yeah, but anyway, so it was for that, and the choreography for it, we were like rehearsing a few weeks before, and it was really fun. Like the dancing for it was that we had these like huge like sailing kind of flags, because the obviously Moana is like about the sea and stuff, and so the whole dance were like, it was actually like kind of hard because they were kind of heavy, and so you had to like move them around and stuff,
right?
It was, it was like a lot of coordination, like the choreo and stuff. But yeah, and like we rehearsed for it and stuff.
So you met
So Auli'i, she was who played Moana, who's amazing. Like and was such a talented singer, and she was the voice behind Moana. The performance was her singing the like titular song. and us like dancing for her type thing. Yeah, so we had like met her and practiced a few times, and
I guess like the sales were hard because you have to be in sync with everybody.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah,
with the song,
it
and
was
they're
all
so
that.
heavy.
It was all that. Well, and the choreographer I work with, his name's Andrew Winghard, and all his stuff is so like is very like large formations and like very intricate kind of coordinations in a group and stuff, which is super fun. But it's like it has to be so perfect
if someone's off.
Work. Yeah, like, I remember we were like working on this one section where like we had to just like wave it, and like it was like 1 and 2 and like going down the line, and like he kept being like, who's doing the 3, and then we spent like 10 minutes figuring out who did it. He's not in like a
but
like
it's
way, but just you have to
be perfect, otherwise it's not gonna
exactly
look right.
exactly.
Did you pull it off on the day? Like, was it perfect on the performance?
Right. Well, that's what it's about.
Okay, I don't want to burn.
We're jumping ahead.
You're setting it up.
Me always like something goes wrong in these stories.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. So essentially, we got there the day of. I mean, it was super obviously cool just being there and like seeing all the people, and I actually like had found the day of like this random spot above that happened to look down on the red carpet. So it was just like we got to see like Meryl Streep walk in and stuff. Like it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, what? And people, there's one random person who looked up. They're like, good spot.
You're like, it is.
Honestly, yeah. Like
so it was like outside that part.
Well, it was at this theater in Hollywood, and like the red carpet's outside, and that's kind of like outside of the theater, and then you go in and that like the actual theaters where they hold it and stuff.
Right. The Dolby Theater or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a Dolby. Yeah. It's super.
I know from all the Academy Awards I keep winning.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I got to like do some stuff that day, and we obviously had the tech too earlier in the day, so we got to like go see backstage and stuff, and then we had the show happen. Our performance comes on. We're like, we start the performance. It's going like okay.
It's going okay.
Then there's this like one section where like I remember it was like we were like walking like we're walking like horizontally across the stage, and we're like waving the flag like this kind of, and you have to like really like use your shoulder. Yeah. I remember I think you actually had to like put it on your shoulder and like push it to like it was a very physical movement type thing. And I just remember like kind of pushing it in like something like just something like not kind of, and then I kept going, and I was like, I think like I don't know, it was just like a little knock up, but it didn't like jump my step off or whatever. And then like whatever, we kept going. Obviously, like you're just focusing so hard in like a context like that. So I was just like, okay, get to the end. Whatever. We get to the end of the thing, like whatever, the bow, like walk off, and like everyone. Also, for some reason, I find it so odd, like when you have like a performance and there's a lot of things going on backstage, but they choose to have everything go on at one side of the backstage, like rather than like both. Like there's no like all the commotion, all the entrances and exits are happening from one place, and then so it's so like it just adds to so much like busyness. It's like not necessary. Like I was just like, why didn't you just come up with a better system or something? But anyway, we go off, and then there's just like a buzz kind of like, and I just hear like she got hit, like somebody hit her, and she got hit because she was standing like at the front of the stage talking, and like we were like dancing like around her, right?
You guys killed Moana?
You did not hit Moana.
And like, but yeah, like basically, I mean, so it all happened so fast, but like basically, they were saying like some of the guys like it. Because it was just guys in the dance, they were like, "Oh my god!" Like, said someone hit her, and then we see just like, because obviously there were a lot of the people on the other performances and the people, the Oscar people, just backstage, and tons of people rush also because we all came at the same, and she was coming off, and people rushed to her obviously, and I was like, I was like, oh my, I don't even know like what, it was so, it all happened so fast, but like they're like. they like took our things right away. They were just like, go, like, get out,
get out of here, run,
or whatever. We were like, oh my god, okay. And then I remember like as we were leaving, like I just hear this like bang, and I look, and like this table like kind of just like fell, like fully sideways, and there were like papers and briefcases or what, like this, this like briefcase that kind of fell. And I remember actually like when I watched the recording later, like if you listen really hard to like you have to be listening for it, but if you hear what happened right after the performance, like the person speaking like right after the dance, you hear like a little like
a bang from someone hitting the table.
Like you hear, like, but you have to be listening for it. It's like really subtle,
right?
But you hear it. But basically, like that, from what I remember, that table, like it was the table where we, like before we were just like not fooling around, but like just like, you know, talking backstage, whatever. Mm-hmm. And people were pointing the table. They're like, oh, like that's like where they keep all the Oscar stuff, or like, oh, I think that's like where the envelopes are for the Oscar or whatever. And like lo and behold, an hour later, this was the year where they announced La La Land as the like wrong winner.
Instead of Moonlight.
Remember there was the crazy
mix-up of the envelopes.
So
no,
I'm not gonna speculate. Like, we'll never know like what happened. But the fact that there was that much going on.
Yeah, that like
So you think maybe the Moana dance mixed up the envelope and then caused that drama? This is breaking news.
Oh my gosh! So essentially, your dance team is responsible for the.
It's the butterfly effect. How would you have ever guessed that
so
the table with the thing like fell?
And do you think possibly in the commotion of you guys trying to all get out of there so fast, like somebody maybe hit the.
Well, we know that happened, right?
No. And you also Moana.
I love that became the second most interesting.
We got backstage, and I was like, guys, it was me. Like
it was me.
It was you that
hit me. And everyone, all my friends, was like, because obviously I just like shared that I was on, and they're like, was it you that hit, or was it you that hit her? And I was like, oh my god.
And it was you that hit her, you think?
Yeah. Was
it you that also hit the table?
No. Like it happened like
so fast.
It happened so fast, and it was like as we were leaving. Yeah, like I'm not sure, but yeah, I definitely hit her. And
wow. No, my gosh.
And the part that I didn't mention is like before this show, she specifically came to the dancers' change room, was like, hi, could I like just talk to you all for a sec? She was so sweet. She came, she was like, hey, so like at the rehearsal, like somebody hit me in the head, and I was just, and I don't think that was me, but she was like, somebody, so if you could just like be like conscious of that like this time, and then
and you're like,
fired.
We'll see.
Fired. Yeah.
Were you fired?
No.
Oh,
well,
okay.
Also, the job was done. So
yeah, you were like, you can't fire me.
You have to pay me for that.
Cash the check.
Yeah, exactly.
She was like, hey, can you guys make sure you don't hit me in the head on the day?
Yeah.
No.
Bah!
Well, it sounds like they were really heavy.
Yeah.
They were hard to manage.
Yeah.
They could have made those out of bamboo, but they wanted to make them out of oak or whatever they made them out of.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah, it still had a cool effect, but anyway, yeah, we'll never know like what exactly went behind it. I think because they obviously, that was like, there's so much media about the flag and the mix up. But the when they talk about the envelopes, are like, oh, like they just got like something got switched.
Switched.
Wow, but you think you might have traced it? This is juicy. This is world breaking.
At least the bump, was overshadowed by the envelope.
That's the thing. Well, and they were like, the media was like praising of her, like she carries on despite
getting whacked in the head by
an anonymous monster dancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever horrible human being hit her.
There's an opposition from. Yeah.
It's also crazy that everyone blamed the the auditing company or the insurance company that like keeps track of the envelopes. Mm-hmm. Nobody was looking at the dancers.
Oh yeah.
You always got to keep your eye on the dancers. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll never know Who did it?
Yeah.
This guy.
Wow, another good story. Like,
oh my gosh.
Again, after we heard the first story, I'm like, this is true. But now I hear this, and he's got so many details.
I know. Both stories have really good details of like, I don't know.
Naming like choreographers.
I know,
and,
I'm like stressed.
And then tying it into a world event, because you could be like, no, that's got to be a lie because that's too crazy. But then you're like, but maybe that is why it's true.
I know. I'm like, I don't know.
So this is a moment where you...
This is the point. Well, actually, okay. Audience, we always let the audience have a try first. If you're on YouTube or if you're listening, drop a comment. Which one do you think is true? Which one do you think is false?
Yeah, if you're listening in the car, just turn to your friend. If you're driving alone, just roll down the window into the car next to you.
Scream it out into the void.
What do you think, Alexa? The first story or second story? Which is the lie, the stolen story?
I don't know.
Any other holes we should
I
poke?
kind of like believe the Oscar story is true. Wait, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really hard. Because you did a really good job of details in each story, like little things.
I don't think you couldn't get scammed.
And then he had the follow-up story about the taxi.
Yeah. Wait, no, maybe the scam story is true, and you've taken this one for another. I don't know. Oh my god, which one do you think is true?
You got to go first. Oh! Your name's on the show.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay, I feel like I just want the Oscar one to be true because it's such a good story. I really want that one to be the true one. Okay, I'm going to say the Oscar one is the true, because I love that. I like that story so much. Okay.
You know what? Just for the bit of gravitas and a bit of drama, I'll say that the Oscar story is a lie. And that the first story is true.
There's no loyalty in this house. Okay. Big reveal. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so the scamming is true.
Oh! No way!
And the Oscar, there's some truth and then there's lies.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Is it like your experience that you've like put a spin on?
Yeah, were you actually?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So what parts are true?
So I didn't hit her.
Did anyone hit her?
Yes.
Somebody did hit her though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, somebody else did. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then the part with the commotion and the table is not
made up.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, TMZ.
Sorry.
I was ready for us. I'm like, this is a viral. We're about to be so rich.
Okay, but then you did kind of feel like the story, like from your friend, that like he was the one who. Oh my god!
Sorry, it wasn't a perfect steal though. But
no,
it was perfect because you had details like the Meryl Streep, someone saying like, "Good job." That's why I was like, oh, was it real?
No, I'm like, I was totally like, oh my god, no, that's perfect. That's exactly it.
I remember being with my friend and him realizing that it was him, and he was like, we had a group chat for the job, and he was like, guys, it was me, sad face. Like,
it was me, sad face.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. I felt bad, but
did she really come down in the rehearsal before and say like, yes, oh my gosh?
True. Yeah.
Was it him who'd hit her that time too?
I think it was because he was at the front. Like it was just hard because like
he had very weak shoulders.
Holy
no, it's honestly just that he like
his positioning.
That part, the position. If you're closer, it was because it was a really big thing.
Yeah,
and so like it moved around a lot. There's a lot of potential for it because he didn't.
Right.
I don't think she was hit with like an actual stick. It was like which obviously she was still hit, which it's distracting. Like when you're trying to sing a song in front of like everyone, like. But yeah, it was more. I think it was like it waved like
right,
that, which is kind of like really hard to avoid. So I think it was one of those.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, that's my steal. It's a bit of a like half.
No,
steal.
that was perfect. That was a perfect kind of steal.
Okay.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I like. Wow, and you really got scammed. You really...
Yeah.
Oh,
I sent that much money. You want to see my transfer to him?
Yes.
You've got the receipts.
100%.
I actually realized... because
you said that you went to Machu Picchu, I was like, oh, maybe that's kind of what also made me believe that.
Well, there were so many details in both stories. It was so hard to know what was the lie.
I know. True. And then I was like, oh, but maybe... I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I also thought because like, okay, well, like, definitely could believe that, like, that you went to LA like for dance and like
yeah.
Like
they were really good.
The visa part where you were like, oh, it was a 1-year visa for a specific company. I was like, okay, that's like a specific thing that you'd probably only know if you've ever had a visa.
Right.
Before. So I thought that,
well, first of all, people can see right now in the movie Trap with the M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Yes,
for a little sec, but yeah.
Yeah, if you would like to see Trap, it's still in theaters. Go and watch it. Actually, this might not be airing at the right time, but still go and watch it.
Or if you want to go check out that clip of the dancing on Oscar, you can look up the Moana and see what happened for yourself.
Can you really?
There were articles about it and stuff.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna look it up.
And where can they find you on your socials? Let us
know your socials.
I guess my Instagram mainly it's Keanu first name .Uchida.
Perfect.
And we'll link it below in the show notes.
Linked below. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Steele My Story. You can follow us wherever you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, the Sonar Network. And you can also look us up on YouTube, Steele My Story, Alexa Rose Steele. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Yeah, oh my God. We learned that every single person we bring is a psychopathic liar.
Yeah. Isn't that just so comforting?
Exactly. Thank you. So much fun.